However, you might be wondering, how do I have my stalker's Twitter DMs? And that's a really, really poignant part of this case and this video. Why do I have private messages from my stalker and attacker? And the answer is because diegosaurs, my love interest at the time, had access to all of these DMs and were reading them in real time as this was happening. He knew she was planning this assault. He knew she actually came to the airport. He knew she was there, and he never said anything to me. And we are fucking lucky that all she did was pour a bottle of piss on me, because I know she wanted it to be much worse. And it could have been much worse. He knew. The entire time, all he had to do was say, "Stay at your gate. There's someone there to hurt you," and he never said anything. And the craziest thing is I never put this together until much after the fact, when I was actually in court. Diego did testify on my behalf in this civil case, about this assault and me getting this protection order, which again, I will reiterate that I did win with flying colors. Not only did the judge say that she had never seen so much incriminating evidence, this isn't even all of it. I also had video evidence, flash drives full of it, that I played on a TV for the court. So much evidence. Not only did she say that, but she looked at me and said, "You need to stay away from this young man, because when he testified, albeit on your behalf, he was smiling the entire time. He loves this," is what the judge said to me. He loves that he got to pit two young women against each other and manipulate them both from completely different standpoints, and it ended up in this perfect storm of you getting assaulted. The judge said this. I'm not saying this. The judge said this. She told me I needed to probably press criminal charges if that was something I could do, and I told her I was not going to, because it meant staying with him, with Diego, because I couldn't afford a hotel for months. In my opinion, the entire time I was there, I think Diego was trying to sabotage my court case. He purposefully woke up late the day of my court case, told me he printed evidence when he didn't. I mean, it is just astounding. He, above all else, he knew this was about to happen and did nothing. And then continued after the fact, after I got home and we broke up, to continue to harass me on social media. He even started a #1 trending tag on social media, Shannon is over party or something, about how I was the abuser, when in reality I had literally just spent a month sitting in my personal hell awaiting a court date so I could have paper protection from his, I guess, ex-girlfriend, who he actually was dating and lied to me about, and lied to her about the situation as well. Like, none of this had to happen. So we know now why I personally think he is equally culpable in that attack. Not legally, but morally, he knew. He knew it was about to happen, and some part of him wanted to see it, I'm sure of it, because he let it happen. Yeah. Bringing everything full circle, we started this video with Brian protecting people, and I would like to share how I feel he is personally involved in this situation and protecting Diego. Like I said, the aftermath after this assault and our inevitable breakup, he did everything, he being Diego, did everything he could to tarnish my reputation online and harass me, just make me feel small and terrible and shitty, and it worked. It was maybe the most depressed I've ever been in my entire life, to have so many people turn against me for something that I didn't do, in fact, was done to me. The only thing I did in this relationship was essentially get assaulted and then end it. Amongst being the social media drama that culminated from this event and the massive backlash on everyone involved, rightfully so for some, and I would say unrightfully so for me. My manager at the time got involved, my manager being Brian Stars, and told me I had to absolutely knock it off and stop what I was doing online in terms of trying to talk about this situation and expose the people involved for who they were and what happened. Brian said I absolutely had to stop, and in fact, he sat me down. I was in person with him at this point. Brian sat me down and wrote out a statement for me to post on my social media about ceasing this drama and everything. And this is when it occurred to me, because after posting my statement that Brian wrote out for me, Diego posted an almost identical statement on his social media that I knew Brian had helped him word. And this was when it occurred to me that not only was I Brian's client, Diego was also Brian's client. Amidst all of this drama, amidst my assaults that Brian knew about and everyone knew about, frankly, Brian signed him as a client on the same management label as me. He has also had a habit of, in my opinion, crossing the line with young girls he meets on tour. And Brian was well aware of this as well, because this was a lot of where our descent, me and my descent with Diego personally began, even before realizing he was as culpable as I currently feel he is for my attack by his other girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. I really don't know who the fuck even to this day, who she was to him. He lied about everything, so I don't know. But he also, like I said, is using his influence to do this bullshit. There's this thing he did that was kind of a running joke in MDE and like the Scene Kid community. Diego would stage kiss fans without beating around the bush. And he may still do it. I really don't know. These pictures are all publicly on Instagram that I am about to show you. So I really didn't have to dig very hard. I just went through his tags to find these pictures, and just from memory, I know there are dozens more. These are just the ones I could find going through a very specific Instagram tag, which is really saying something about how many of these photos probably exist. The stage kiss essentially was a real kiss. He would just put his thumb right here on his bottom lip, so somehow that was better, I guess. And the running joke in MDE and everything was, come over here, let me give you a stage blowjob. I'll just put my thumb there and it doesn't count. It's not cheating, it's not, it's not sexual assault, it's a stage blowjob. Which just goes, that was our kind of euphemism for how just ridiculous that reasoning was, especially given the ages of some of these girls. And at this point, I'm going to start referencing actual photos, because this is obviously very important. This is the main part of the video I really wanted to get out there, just on the off chance, honestly not so off chance anymore, he continues competing in these large-scale competitions and touring again. Before I start showing these pictures, I just want to mention I did my best to blur out these girls as they are underage. I'm also going to be blurring out the majority of the username just so you cannot find these girls, because they don't need to be put in the spotlight for this. This is not their fault. Everyone I'm about to show is well under the age of 18 in these photos, and I would also like to say that Diego in 2016 on the Boys of Summer tour, which is where all of these photos are essentially from, was 20 years old. 19, at the end of being 19 or 20 years old. I honestly think he was 20 because he's about to be 24 in August. So 2016, I'm gonna say he was 20. And actually, yes, he was 20 because these pictures are from September 2016, so he was already 20 if these timestamps are accurate. So I'm gonna begin my first photo. There's a lot, so like I said, I've been trying to blow the whistle on this for a while, and honestly, I don't know why just no one ever gave a fuck, because I'm seeing a lot of guys torn apart for, rightfully so, but for less obvious creepy things. So I guess maybe, I don't know. I really hope that this is taken seriously and other people start to look into this besides me. Again, we're gonna start with some photos here. So this is a first photo from the Boys of Summer tour with Diego and a fan, where I actually was kind of dumbfounded by this one because her caption, despite having it still up, which I'm not dumbfounded by her, I'm just dumbfounded by the fact that he continued doing this after him literally liking this photo with this caption. It says, Diego, in quotes, I regret doing this, / he liked. Now, if we go to the profile of this person, again, who I am trying to keep as anonymous as possible, she graduated high school in the class of 2018, which in 2016, when this kissing photo was taken, would have made her, assuming she graduated at age 18, like most people, about 16 years old. Again, like I said, illegality is another thing. Immorality is really what I'm discussing here, and you can make your own decisions. I'm just sharing the information that is already on the internet. Moving on to the next photo. This is also a photo from 2016 when Diego was 20 years old, and if I go to this profile, sorry, I was looking for the thing on this picture. This person states they are college bound in March of 2019, which would make this person in 2016, assuming again that they graduate at the age of 18, which is actually being generous because I graduated at the age of 17. That would make her approximately 15 years old in that kissing photo. Moving on to the next photo, and I mean, these are just the ones where I could literally find the ages of these girls in question. Diego, again, in 2016, is 20 years old, and this girl, according to her profile in 2020, is 18, which would make her approximately 14 in that photo. Again, there's a thumb there, but I really don't personally think a thumb makes much of a difference when you're a 20-year-old man and you're stage kissing a 14-year-old girl. Again, we're going to go on to another photo from 2016 in which he is stage kissing a fan. Stage kissing, I literally am using the word as a joke. He's kissing these girls with his thumb blocking the part of his lower lip. Some, he's blocking it more than others. I'll give him that, but what the fuck. This girl celebrated her sweet 16th, according to her profile, in October of 2017, making her approximately 15 in the age of the kissing photo. And finally, on the last one that I feel like showing you guys with, verbalized proof, is this girl who stage kissed Diego in 2016, and I actually, unfortunately, found a picture of her holding her driver's permit, which I will not be showing you for fucking obvious reasons, that states she was born in 2003, which would make her approximately 13 and Diego 20 at the age of that photo. Again, there's a thumb there. I really don't think that makes a difference, and if you do, I think you really need to reevaluate your priorities and reevaluate who you support, because it's unacceptable. It's just blatantly unacceptable. Like I said, in some of these pictures, he's covering more with his thumb. In others, he's not. Personally, I think it doesn't matter. It's fucked. It's just fucked. And honestly, again, for the final time, we're not talking about illegality here. We're talking about immorality. And this is the type of environment he creates and actually instigates. This is his idea, these stage kiss photos. This has become an ingrained part of this entertainer's brand, doing these staged kissing photos with girls who, if these numbers are correct on their social media, are as young as 13 years old, and that's a problem.